Okay, so thank you everybody, first of all, for taking time to sit in on this webinar. Our goal here is to inform and educate and answer some questions. The relationship between HPIP and ADO is brand new, and we are very excited about it. So my appreciation to Jake and Jeff and Nancy and everybody else that has pulled this together. There will be, just so that you know, some information available to you after the webinar. If you have questions that continue to come up, I don't want you to hesitate one moment to just give me a call or shoot me an email, because I'm not sure we can cover everything in one sitting, but we can get everything started. So if that sounds okay with everybody, we will go ahead and get started.
Sounds good.
And if everyone, if you lose view at all or audio at all, just send up a flag or type in a message into the chat window, but I'll assume everything's going fine unless I hear otherwise. So we, our association rebranded dramatically in May of this year, having been the same organization essentially for almost 30 years. Prior to May of 2013, we were an association of strictly bid stealers. Our foundation goes back to the 1980s and a coalition of bid stealers wanting to impact the industry, gain visibility for blown-in insulation and for bids as a trademarked patented system. And we really did well for about 30 years, and then it came May, and our board, along with our partners, decided that it was time to sort of open the boundaries a little bit, recognizing that there are a lot of high-performance insulation systems out there that we would also like to support. Many of those systems being the products and services of our existing partners, being, you know, Certainty, Johns Manville, Knauf Insulation, and then bringing in Owens Corning Insulation. You know, we all got together, and it was a group decision to open up our boundaries, welcome in a greater cross-section of insulation contractors who do high-performance systems or want to do high-performance systems. So we do have an association prospectus. It's available for download on our website, which is also in transition, but our existing site is bidca.org, bidca.org. At the very top of the home page, you will see a link to the prospectus, which is around 20 pages of history, change, and our future vision. So we'll step through a few pieces of that today, but then we'll also, that's available for download on our website. So as I said, we started out in the 80s here as the Blow-In Blanket Contractors Association. In 2007, we did a little rebrand and kind of updated our look and feel, but nothing as dramatic as what we've done here at the bottom. Our new logo, the change in our name, basically says it all. You know, having had Blow-In Blanket in our actual name sort of indicated that we were one and the same with the company Blow-In Blanket, and the fact is that we are, and always have been, an independent, nonprofit, 501c6 trade association. We felt that a full change in our name would help clarify our independent nature. Even our own members were always confused. You know, should they be ordering fabric from us? Are we bids? Are we not bids? What's the difference? So with the change in our borders, we changed our name, and we spent a long time trying to come up with a good name and a good acronym that would reflect everything we do. So we are now HPIP, the High Performance Insulation Professionals. And just a quick, you know, interesting little thing. They say that, you know, the best business plans and the best ideas happen on a bar napkin. Ours was actually on a Jimmy John's napkin, but we sat for about 2 days in Ames, Iowa at the headquarters of Kinsler Construction, and our board, along with the top management of all the fiber manufacturers, and we all sat together for a couple of days, and we hashed and rehashed, and finally the executive committee just went into the back room and made a resolution that basically outlined what we were going to do. And this is framed in our office. We changed our mission. As you can see, our old mission was basically BIBCA members and blow-in blanket systems would be recognized as the best by industry professionals and consumers. That very much spoke to our purpose, and now our new mission, of course, is not just to support bibs and the blow-in blanket systems. We removed the brand-specific element of our mission, and it reads, as you see here on the bottom line now, that we support the growth and expertise of our members who provide high-performance, energy-efficient fiberglass-based insulation systems and related components. I would imagine that mission statement all by itself would probably trigger a whole bunch of questions, which I'm happy to answer once we kind of get through our, so if you'll, as we go, just jot questions down, we can come back and answer them. So again, just a little bit of talk about our mission, our foundation, changes we're making, and why. A little bit here about our board of directors, which is also in flux. We have, we were quite a large board in the past, and we are in the process of scaling down to be a little bit leaner, meaner. Board of directors, our president is Dean Moody, Intermountain West Insulation. He runs a couple of companies up in the Pacific Northwest. Our vice president, Steve Malone, out of Rapid City, who is also our lead trainer and the head of our training committee. Our secretary treasurer, Bart, he was previously with Builders Insulation out of Oklahoma City, which is now a Masco company, and Bart has moved over and he's with a different company now. Leon Minix is the classic small contractor that makes up probably about half our membership. He and his son run an insulation company in Missouri. Tanner Kinsler, that name is usually pretty familiar in the insulation world. He and his family have Kinsler Construction Services and a number of insulation companies they've acquired in the past few years. They represent multi-branch membership, so I would say probably 8 or 9 different companies are Kinsler companies right now, and they don't show any signs of slowing down. Connie Dillard's husband, John, was one of our founding members from over in Idaho. He passed away a couple years ago. She provides good insight and historical perspective. Greg Kudrina will be going off the board for 2014 as he takes a mandatory 1-year break, and then we intend to involve him again in 2015 if possible. Randy Wilkerson has been a nonprofit liaison. He's also going off the board. And Doug Kleeman of Lampert Lumber, his branch of Lampert is out of Pella, Iowa. And this is his last year on the board as well. Again, some more that we've already talked about HPIP. You can read through all this in the prospectus, but I won't go through everything at length here. There is a video here, a video audio testimonial from our president, but it doesn't always play well on a webinar, so I'm not going to try and torture you with bad audio this time. But this is our President Dean, and a letter from him talking about his passion for this association and what we're trying to do in raising the bar for insulation contractors everywhere, why this association exists, and what it is we're trying to accomplish. this is an interesting page. Whereas before we endorsed and supported the blow-in blanket system, now you'll see there's an entire list of systems that have been nominated and approved for support and inclusion. And they're grouped here sort of at the top, from the top by manufacturer. So you can see that CertainTeed, who's been a longtime member of ours, has got a number of systems supported now, not just blown-in fiberglass, but membrane and their new FortiCell system, Knauf and their air sealing product, EcoSeal, as well as their blowing wool, Johns Manville, of course, and then toward the bottom of that list are the brand new things. You know, we are supporting not just blown-in high performance systems, but also that insulation if it's high density and installed at grade 1 standards. That was debated vigorously, and what we've decided is that because our partners do offer that as a high performance system, we would go ahead and support contractors who are installing that, but with the caveat that their installation of high density bat meets grade 1 standards according to ResNet standards. And then another big earth-shattering move was the addition of Owens Corning and their ProPink Complete system and their Energy Complete. A couple of systems you may not be familiar with by Proclima, Intello Plus. They will be at our convention in February. They are offered by a company called 475. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not, but they've got a couple of systems here, Solitex Mento as well. So the process is, if anybody wants a system or a technology to be considered high performance and to be something that we support, there is a nomination process. Anybody can nominate a product or system. It then goes to an initial committee. The top picture there is Greg Kudrina of Henges Insulation out of Olathe, Kansas, Tanner Kinsler, and Dean Moody. They take the first look at any nomination and decide if it is high performance enough to be considered part of our family. If it passes initial nomination, it goes to the full board and a full application where all of the attributes of the system and the technology are spelled out by the manufacturer or the proprietor of the system. The full board votes on it, and then it makes this list. There are questions around HPIP, as there always were around BIBCA, like what's the point? What's the difference between this association and, say, SPFA or ICAA? And this piece of the prospectus basically spells that out. We are sort of, Dean describes us as a fraternity of very well-trained, sort of the most exclusive insulation contractors, and there's a big difference between that and other associations that don't have those criteria of professionalism and training. And what we feel is that ICAA is important in their work in providing a platform that is largely representative of the entire insulation industry, and we support that and have a good relationship with them. We feel that SPFA has got a great relationship and great training opportunities with specifically foam contractors. And then we are really the high performance system people. Like if it's not high performance, it's not going to be our thing. And in the past that did mean bids, and it meant blown in fiberglass only. But that's sort of the difference between us. We have really very little involvement in political efforts. We don't lobby. We're really an association of grassroots boots on the ground contractors. We tend to be small to medium-sized installation companies. There are a few multi-branch companies, some Masco branches, but we are very grassroots, and we're all about training and professionalism. Again, there's another audio message here from Rick Rogers with InfoVale out of Colorado that's pretty good, but again, I don't really trust the buffering and streaming and audio process on a webinar, so I won't play that, but it can be found on our YouTube channel. There are different levels of membership for contractors. There is an introductory member. Those are contractors that we don't want to exclude people who aren't there yet. So if somebody is an installation contractor and they would really like to offer high-performance systems, we can act as an incubator for those folks, and that's an introductory membership. People basically have 1 year to get training to offer high-performance systems. If they haven't done that within a year, we're probably not the right association for them. People move on to gold membership from there. They are then offering branded high-performance systems that are offered by our industry partners. And then platinum members are basically our most involved people. They act as mentors for other contractors. They are either ResNet or BPI certified. They do grade 1 work and have submitted documentation of inspections. They have taken the training program that, that we offer, as well as these other building science credentials. They're the people that typically serve on our board and steer the organization. Our training program is being revamped this year. It was prior to 2014 a program that showed people how to install bibs, and it was only all about bibs. Our new program has got 3 pieces to it. The first and most relevant to contractors is our installation verifier course. It's a 12-hour course that's going to premiere at convention, and it basically teaches an installation contractor how to meet the ResNet, the criteria guidelines, how to get, not only install high-performance insulation, but how to get it Raider ready. And it's 12 hours of sort of graduate insulation contractor work. Our second course is intended for BPI analysts and ResNet raters who have got a good base of building science but do not know as much as they'd like to about insulation. And that is a 4-hour course that will also be offered at our convention. And our last course is for people who basically don't have much building science and certainly no insulation education under their belt. These might be code inspectors, building inspectors, architects, students, people who really need more basic training, and that's a 6-hour course that will also be offered at our convention. And all 3 of these courses are going to be made available online as well. Just a little word about everything I just covered, what the different courses are, who they're relevant for, and again, we'll be offering them online, but then they'll also be translated into Spanish, we hope, before the end of 2014. Our convention, ADO will be there. We're very excited about that. Usually a good collection. I would say we have around 25 exhibitors, and we'll probably have around 100 to 150 individual companies represented. We're a very small convention. We don't get up into the, several thousand contractors. We don't want to. We feel that we're a very small targeted audience. It's a very close-knit family. We like it that way, and we only do this convention every other year. So coming up in Dallas we'll have ADO there, and we're excited about that. So again, the convention, it's going to be great. We've got not just the training courses that I discussed, but we have a variety of speakers coming. Like I said, we've got the 3 different tracks for the contractors, the raters and analysts, and then code officials. We're excited about our keynote speaker. He led the group that captured Saddam Hussein, and having just passed the 10th anniversary of that event, he'll be attending and giving. He's got a very inspirational talk. He doesn't just cover the drama of the day, but he talks about leadership and overcoming challenges, and we'll have a book signing event with him as well. Here's our schedule. I do have extra brochures if anybody is interested in recruiting some of your customers. We'd love to see a good turnout of ADO customers there. You can email me if you want some brochures. I can also give you just a PDF of the brochure that you could email around. These are just the different registration levels. A word about our supporters. And this is actually not a very current slide. I put this together several weeks ago. We've added some exhibitors to this list, but like I said, we'll probably be in the neighborhood of 25 exhibitors and supporters. This graphic here discusses the level of membership that ADO, the ADO has come in at, which is a distributor member. It's a significant investment, and it comes with significant benefits. You know, it's not as high as the systems partner level. Those are the people, the Certainteed, Johns Manville, Knopf, and Owens Corning. Those are our systems partners. Our distributors are, so far anyway, ADO, IDI, and service partners. We also have J&R Products and RIS looking at membership, but they have not made the commitment. We have a number of associate members as well. That's our lowest supporter level, and those are companies basically that offer maybe one product, such as Accuvent is always a good associate member of ours. So Brentwood Industries, Capital Machine, those kind of companies. There's a list here of the different benefits, and I can send that chart around to anybody or answer questions about that as we get through. Member services to our contractors, that's our key reason to be, essentially, and as you become educated about those services, they're things that you can bring to your customers through us. For example, you've got someone maybe who has got no social media set up for their company. If you offer the solution to them, they don't care where it comes from. And so if you come to them and say, oh, you know, if you want to join this organization that we're part of, they'll take care of all your social media, they'll set up a website for you. And when you offer the solution to that problem, you're the hero, and we feel that it helps build loyalty between you and your customers. And here's the list of benefits we offer to the contractors. It's an extensive list, and of course it goes by levels here. The industry professional, those are people who don't do insulation as their primary industry. The introductory, those are those people that are in the incubator working toward full membership. The contractor at a basic level is here. The gold members have had more training and more experience, and they're using branded systems. And then the platinum member is as high as we go. And a little message from me there at the end that you can catch at the on the full printed out prospectus. But I guess right now what I'd like to do is answer questions.
Anybody have any questions? No. Anybody understand who they are and what we're doing and why we're a part of it and the benefits are? We do have a bunch of contractor brochures right now, Kristen, that we'll be passing out diligently over the next week. In addition to that, we're about ready to do e-blast communication on our own behalf, utilizing a lot of the verbiage that's in your prospectus as far as announcing our membership with HPIP. The ADO products code that we've talked about, as far as getting people signed up, is that code relevant not only for convention use but also for membership use, or is it just for membership use?
It's actually just for convention use.
It's just for convention.
Yes. So should you recruit, and it would be unusual that someone would come to convention and not do membership in the process, because it's so much more expensive to come as a non-member. It doesn't really even make sense. So the code is developed for to recruit your customers to convention. If you got, for example, 100 customers there, you could essentially almost cover your dues for next year. So there's a little kickback to ADO, in appreciation for helping us promote this event and get people trained. We try to make it, beneficial to the bottom line for you guys too. So every time that code is used for convention, you guys get credit for it in dollars and cents. Yeah, we're excited. There is a registration. The early registration discount ends on Friday. So I would say the sooner you can get your e-blast out, the better. There's a good chance that if somebody contacted me Monday, I could still give them that discount, but it gets problematic to extend it much beyond that. And I believe that goes down in increments of $50 at a time. So it's not the end of the world, but contractors are watching their money, and so if we can get them in sooner, that's better.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? Thank you very, very, very much for your time, Kristen. It was very streamlined and very thorough, and I think everybody's got a good grasp on exactly what we're doing here.
Great. Well, we want to make your investment worthwhile, and I would encourage any and all of you to just shoot me an email. If you need anything, we have a brand new director of member services. Her name is Donna DeSeno, and she and I will just pitch in and get you whatever you need. We want to see your customers become part of this organization. That just makes it more worthwhile for you. So feel free to email me if you need anything.
That sounds great. I think the second round starts off at 2 o'clock. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right. I'll make sure that everybody's set in here and ready to go at 5 minutes to 2 then.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks. Sounds good. Thank you. Thanks, Fred.
All right. Bye-bye.